Do you know that feeling when your kid finally asks you, wait, is Santa real? And you're like, welcome to Worldly Families. I'm Justine Janae. Traveling to over 40 countries and living abroad has shown me that the mainstream American way of doing things is not always the best. I'm all about showing you new ways of being and doing so you can live and parent more intentionally and more joyfully. In this video, I'm talking about what to do about Santa. Some parents are fully in this camp, like, do not ever lie to your child. You are going to damage them beyond repair. And other parents are in the camp of like, don't ruin their childhood. Everybody deserves to believe in the magic of Christmas. Ultimately, it's a choice and it's up to you. You know your family best, you know your family values, you know your children, and even each child might be different. Here are some thoughts on how to navigate this whole conundrum so that when those moments happen, you have some tools in your back pocket and you know what to do. Point to ponder number 1. Kids love imaginative play. Last night, my daughter Autumn and I were playing sisters. We were pretending to be sisters. She doesn't need to believe that she is actually a sister in order to enjoy playing sisters with me. In that same vein, she doesn't need to believe that Santa is actually real in order to enjoy putting cookies out for him or writing him a letter or just believing in the spirit of Father Christmas. One Easter when Autumn was 3 years old, I got her an Easter basket and I put it in our closet and I put these little cardboard cutouts of bunny feet in a trail leading from her bedroom to my closet. So she woke up in the morning, she followed the trail. As soon as she got in my room, she was like, Mom, the Easter bunny came. I'm so excited. And then she did this funny thing, like an aside, like, give me the real scoop here, where she went, wait, is the Easter bunny real? And I was able to go, no, but we pretend he is because it's more fun. And she went, okay. And then she kept going on and discovered the basket. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. The Easter bunny brought me. Thank you, Easter bunny. And all of this. And then she was like, thank you, Easter bunny. It was the cutest, most heartwarming thing ever. And it was this moment of connection and like, okay, we still have the fun and the spirit of Easter and the Easter bunny and all of that. But we also, between you and me, we really know what's really going on here. And so it just built on that trusting relationship. The funny thing is, about a year or two later, at 4 or 5 years old, a similar thing happened with Santa Claus. And I had always been very open about, you know, what are mythical creatures, you know, and I kind of put Santa and the Easter Bunny in the same category as unicorns and mermaids, although Autumn still to this day will insist that mermaids are real. But this happened with Santa Claus, where she was like, she was asking me about Santa Claus and is Santa real? And I said, well, do you want to believe in Santa? And she said, yeah, I do. I said, okay, then believe in Santa. And she's like, okay, I do. And we just kind of dropped it from there. So now she fully believes in Santa, even though historically, as a younger child, she knew that Santa wasn't real. I have come a long way from this idea of we should never lie to our children to it's okay if that is part of your value system to have your child really experience the magic of Christmas and not just the spirit of the magic of Christmas, if that makes any sense. Quick aside, if you like my content, please subscribe and click the bell to be notified every time I release a new video. Thank you. Point to ponder number 2. The song Santa Is Comin' to Town has really shaped the way that we view Santa in U.S. American culture. That song was written in 1934. What was going on in the 1930s? Well, there was the Great Depression. There was the idea of parenting that children should be seen and not heard. It was all about blind obedience. And if you look at the lyrics to the song, they're pretty creepy. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. It's like, ooh. That's not the way I want to motivate my children to behave. Let's not manipulate our children into being good in order to get material things like gifts. I want them to behave because they have a trusting and respectful relationship with me, not because they think Santa is going to bring them coal or they're going to be on the naughty list. Like, let's try to use some internal motivation instead of this external system of rewards and punishments. I'll link to a video I did about the trends of parenting over time and this pendulum that has swung back and forth between strict and lenient parenting. Point to ponder number 3. Let your children guide you. As they get older, into the 7 to 10 range, they're gonna start developing their critical thinking skills, and they might start asking you questions like, wait a second, how does Santa fit down a chimney? Wait a second. How does Santa get to every house in one night? Wait a second. And yes, you can answer every question with the word magic. But if you prefer not to do that and you want to follow this instinct of critical thinking to its natural conclusion, then get curious. Instead of responding with an answer right away, seek to understand. Understand where your child's coming from. That's a really great question. What got you thinking about that? If your child flat out asks, is Santa real? Like, be real with me. To me, that is a really good time to say, yeah. I mean, no. Depends on what you believe as a parent. Do you believe in Santa? No. But he's a story that we like to believe in because it's fun and it teaches us the magic of Christmas. Just like in religion, the Bible and lots of religions are full of stories that are allegories to teach us lessons or to embody the spirit of some type of value that we're meant to learn. Like St. Nicholas embodies the spirit of unconditional love and generosity and kindness. Even without Santa, we can embody the spirit of Christmas in other ways. It can be baking cookies together or cooking a feast together. It can be making presents, handmade gifts or cards for one another. It can be volunteering together. It can be looking at Christmas lights. It can just be being extra kind to one another during the holiday season. Point to ponder number 4. When you do ultimately get to a point where your child knows Santa doesn't exist in the real physical form like we think of, that Santa exists in people's hearts and minds as a make-believe or mythical character that represents something, then we need to have this conversation about not spoiling it for other kids. Each family is different, and that's beautiful. So give your kids the language and the instructions so they know what to do if another kid comes up and asks them, well, what do you think? Do you think Santa's real? Or tell me, you're older, is Santa real? Tell your child to direct their question to an adult. Tell them, if somebody asks you your thoughts on Santa or asks you if Santa's real, tell them, that's a great question. You should talk to your parents about that. Point to ponder number 5. Another avenue for this conversation is to talk about Christmas traditions around the world, because there are a lot of other societies that also celebrate Christmas or a similar holiday around the holiday season. And a lot of them have different representations of Santa or a Santa-like character. So digging into some of those can help you have this conversation about what other people believe around the world, and it can help your child to get curious about what other people believe, rather than just being focused on their own experience of like, oh, I'm so disappointed because I believed this thing and now I don't. It takes it off of this self-focus and onto this other orientation of like, oh, what do other kids experience around the world? It's really fascinating when you dig into it. Do you guys want me to do a video about Christmas traditions around the world? Because I'll do that video. Let me know in the comments below, please. Ultimately, whether you decide to be really straight with the hard facts with your child because you know them and you know that that is going to build the strongest relationship, or if you decide to let your children marinate in the magical wonder of Christmas because you know that that is what's best for them. Or you may land somewhere in between, like me, where I have this kind of dual channel thing going with autumn, where on the one hand we have this and we play in it, and on the other hand we have this, but really, like, you and I, we know. Whatever you decide to do, as long as you're following your heart and your gut and your child, there's no wrong decision. Stated in the positive, they're all the right decision. Just one more thing I ask of you. People can get very upset and angry and fired up about this issue because they think they're right. All right, you're not right, you're not wrong, you just have an opinion. Please seek to understand other people's opinions. Respect the differences. Allow people to be who they are. And enjoy your own holiday. With that, I leave you. Happy holidays. I love you very much. And I will see you in the next video. I'm ridiculous today. It's Christmas! It's Christmas! Ooh, cool lighting. What else? What else? What else do I want to say? What else do I want to say? What else? What else? Well, I'm having fun.